Okay. Welcome everyone. You know, to the few people that actually get my message. You know, I want to make sure that there's something to be learned today. So welcome everybody. Or there's at least something that you may be able to relate to. So oh man. So today I want to talk about peace. And not just peace in itself, but how acceptance brings peace. Acceptance of your situation, acceptance of where you are, you know, and just being complacent. Sometimes complacency is better than putting yourself in weird situations. For example, there's a lot of guys who are just not content. Like, you can have peace but not be content, meaning you could be single, you could be alone, you could have all your bills paid, but just as human beings, you're not going to be content if you don't have companionship, you don't have, the things you truly desire. And I think that's where acceptance comes into play. So, you know, I'm going to label this video with acceptance comes peace, because I don't think you can have peace without acceptance. Me personally, I'm fortunate enough to where, I'm a millennial, so I lived through an era where, I at least got to experience companionship. You know, I got to experience a lot of things that a lot of the younger generation of men did not. And I mean, you don't stop desiring these things, especially to me, I almost feel like it's worse when you've actually experienced those things, because you know what you're missing. But I don't know. I can't lie to anyone and say I know how it feels to be an inkwell, or I know how it feels to be forever alone, touchless, just never experiencing anything. I can't say I know how that feels. I mean, obviously I did before, when I was still a virgin or whatever. Obviously I know how that felt before, but, at least I was just born during a fortunate timeline where I was able to experience like true like romance, true love, before all this social media shit took over. So now everything is transactional. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just now there's just so many options. Like, you're constantly competing. Even when you're in a relationship, you're constantly competing with other guys. Like, even in the talking phase, you're constantly competing. So, and I was outside today, and I'm not like a bad looking dude, but like, you know, you get to a certain point where like your window is starting to close, and like, I just see chicks, like, they'll be staring at me. So I don't know if they're staring at me because of what reason. Maybe because I'm tall, and I think that just automatically draws eyes to me. So, but sometimes I just feel uncomfortable. Like, there's just days where I just want to be alone, but at the same time, a part of me as a man, I want to like I thought about maybe I should approach her, maybe, you know, like, because like I said, there's still always going to be that craving and that desire for a deeper level of intimacy, a deeper level of love or passion, whatever. So you're always going to have that urge to be like, man, I wonder how things would be if, I approached her, or if maybe things could you never know what could happen until you actually try. But nowadays, the way the world is set up, it's just like, it's seen as weird to approach people in public. Like, unless you're, I mean, unless she gives you clear signals that she wants you to approach her. I mean, this girl was literally staring at me for like a good 20, 30 seconds, and I was staring back at her, but I think it was more she was looking at me because she was walking in the store and I was walking in the same direction, and I probably just looked like somebody she knew because I live in a small city, so a lot of people tell me I just look like somebody they know or their cousin or some shit. So you can't just take every. There's different types of glares. There's different types of looks people give you. It wasn't a look like, damn, he's sexy. It was a look like, oh, I think I know this guy, or maybe da da da. It could have been a combination of both. Maybe she did find me attractive, but either way, I mean, like I said, I have cold approached and all that shit, but it's just now people are just more comfortable talking online. Like most of the women that I meet that I actually hang out with in person, like I meet them online because maybe a few I've met like at a grocery store, like, you know, you can kind of tell when somebody's feeling you, like, but you know, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't I don't need to have like a girl and all that shit, but at the same time, like my life is set up in a way to where I have my routine. You know, a lot of guys who are lonely, you know, they have a routine. Like, and the loneliness can mean multiple things. Loneliness doesn't mean you can't get a girl or you can't. Loneliness can mean a lack of companionship because, like, you know, I have girls that I can hit up if I just want to have some casual stuff going on. But I mean, that shit is, it's an empty feeling. And not only is it an empty feeling, it's also a reminder of the lack of companionship that you have. So, like, but my point is that you can have your peace, you can have your routine, like, you know, whatever your copes are, whatever you do in the house to, like, you go to work, you go home, you may watch sports, or you may play video games, or you may watch like TV shows, binge watch TV shows, or you may go to the gym, or, you know, it's very easy to just maintain your peace and not have your peace interrupted. But at the same time, you have these biological needs, and like it's like a void that can never be filled if you don't have companionship. Like if you don't have a girl, if you don't have somebody you can, you know, at the end of a hard day, you have somebody that you can just confide in and be like, yeah, like, man, today was crazy. Like, you know, just somebody you can trust with your deepest, darkest secrets. Like, or somebody you can trust, you can actually be vulnerable around, that won't throw it in your face and won't judge you. Like that is just something that I know what it feels like, and it's a great thing to have. So, you know, but that's why I say, like, peace brings acceptance, because if you have to make a choice, right? You either have to accept that this is something you will never be able to obtain in your life, or if you can't accept it, you won't have peace. So you got to go all out, and you got to go. If you want a girl, if you want a companion, you got to go out and get it. Like, she's not gonna come knocking at your door while you just on the game for 10 hours a day, like just smoking weed, playing PlayStation. Like she's not gonna come knocking your door now. So, but if you're in a situation where you just can't, and you feel like you're inadequate, maybe you don't feel like you have the looks or whatever, man, it's hard, it's rough, you know, because take it from me, like, as a guy who's been there and had experienced those things, like, no amount of sex, no amount of, like, whether you call it an escort or you just hooking up casually with a girl or whatever, no amount of sex can replace companionship. Like, you'll always have that emptiness inside of you. Like, there's no supplement for that. There's no replacing genuine human companionship. Like, it's just nothing you can replace. And I hope that I can help someone find peace. You know, I think that in order to find true peace, you have to be accepting of that. Not only just that, you have to truly be accepting of that, because I feel like a lot of guys who may be like, oh, I don't need a girl, and like those guys are not. That's not peace. I mean, you will never have true peace like that. Like until you really believe what you're saying and you really accept it. You have to make a hard line. You have to draw a hard line. Either you're on this side or you're on that side. Because a lot of guys that think they're like, oh, they say those things, but they really desire those things. So you either have to you have to put effort. I know it's hard to put effort into things when you're just, life is kicking you in the ass and you're always getting shot down. And I know it's hard to put effort into this shit. But you have to really ask yourself, do I have peace with no companionship? Can I find peace? And yes, you can. It is possible to find peace. But you have to be like literally on some monk shit. Like you have to reach a different level spiritually. You have to reach a different level internally. Like mind, body, and soul have to be all in line and connected, and you have to be at peace. You know what I'm saying? And I've been chilling lately because I realize just casually having sex just is not fulfilling for me. And I've been doing it for a while, and it's not what I want. Like, it's cool, like, but it's not. As a man, you're putting a Band-Aid on a stab wound. Like, it's just a temporary dopamine hit, and then you're right back to missing companionship. You're right back to missing, like, having a ride or die. Like, it's not. So yeah, that's why I say a lot of guys, you need to really just turn everything off and just sit down and think, what do I want? And if I can't have those things, can I be at peace and can I accept it? So, just something to think about. There's another topic I want to talk about, but I didn't want to cram it into this video. But hope y'all have a good day and that you think about these things and you truly figure out what it is you want, because you can't have success if you don't know what your goal is. So that's all I want to say. Peace.